Alright class, going to finish up your math boxes, the problems that I assigned yesterday. Taking a look at the first division problem, which is here in it's letter B. And what we'd be thinking to ourselves is how many 8s can go into 8. And that's of course 1, because you can just work with this first 8. 8 times 1 is 8, so we're going to write that under the 8. And fill in the rest of the places with the zeros. 1, 2, 3. Because 8 times 1,000 is 8,000. You can subtract now. So go ahead and do that step. 7 minus 0 is 7, 0, 1 minus 0 is 1, 8 minus 8 is 0. We're down to 107. So now, the 10 is bigger than the 8. So we're going to have to work with the 10. We're thinking, what times 8 is 10? It gets us close. And again, it's going to be 1, because 8 times 10 is 8. Now notice I put it under the 0, because it's got to be smaller than the number we're working with. Put a 0 there and put a 0 there, because 8 times 10 is 80. And subtract. 7 minus 0 is 7, 10 minus 8 is 2. Now we're thinking, what times 8 is 27? Well, if you count by 8s, it would be 3. 8 times 3 is 24, and we subtract 7 minus 4 is 3, 2 minus 2 is 0. So our answer here, when we add up on the side, is 1,000, no hundreds, and 13. Don't forget your remainder. We have a remainder of 3. So that's what you should have had there. Taking a look at this one. We did these two yesterday. Now we're doing this one. You're thinking, you know it's going to be halves, and what you're thinking is 7 minus something is 4. Should have a 3. This one's a little bit easier because you can just do it in order. You know you're going to have 12s. 11 minus what is 4? 7. So you had 3 halves and 7 12s there. Working on the next one. You just needed to do C and D here. Make them a little bigger. Okay, so if I'm doing this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go 5 plus 2 is 7. And I know that my fraction is going to be in sixth. 5 plus 5 is 10. Okay? You could simplify this and go 10 divided by 6. There's another 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. And subtract 10 minus 6 is 4. So your answer for what 10 sixths is 1 and 4 sixths. Which then makes this 7 plus 1 and 4 sixths. Which could be reduced to 7 plus 1 is 8. And 4 sixths stays. Same thing here. 7 plus 8 is 15. We're going to have tenths. And 3 plus 9 is 12. Now again, if you wanted to simplify that and make it a mixed number, we would go 12 divided by 10, it goes in there 1 time, 1 and 2 tenths, which is what this 12 tenths is. So that's 15 plus 1, 2 tenths, because that's what we have here. 15 and 1 is 16, and 2 tenths. So those were your answers there. You could either have 7 and 10 sixths, or 8 and 4 sixths, 15 and 12 tenths, or 16 and 2 tenths. Alright, this one is a challenging one. This one was part of your homework. And there's a couple steps to this. So the first thing to do is add these 3 numbers of feet up. So we have 3,450, 1,488, and 2,568. Now I want you to check your answers versus what I did, each step of the way. 0 plus 8 plus 8 is 16, carry the 10. Okay? 1 and 5 is 6, plus 8 is 14, plus 6 is 20. And that 2 up there. Okay? 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. Bring that up here. 1 and 3 is 4. 5, 7. So I get 7,506 feet. But we're going to split that up amongst 6 schools. So we have to take that 7,506 feet and divide that by 6. So the first thing I do is I notice that the 6 is smaller than the 7. How many 6s, what times 6 can get you close to 7 without going over? 1. 6 times 1 is 6. Now you complete the step. 1,000 times 6 is 6,000. We subtract. 6, 0. 6 minus 0 is 6. 0 minus 0 is 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 6 is 1. So now we're thinking, what times 6 gets me close to 15? You can only do 2 6s because 6 times 2 is 12. Add a 0, add a 0, add a 0, add a 0, and subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6, 0 minus 0 is 0, 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, so now we're working with the 30. What times 6 is 30? 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Add a 0, add a 0, and subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6, 0 minus 0, 0, 3 minus 3 is 0. 6 times what is 6? 1. 6 times 1 is 6. There you go. So your answer for how many feet each school is going to get is 1,251. 1,251 feet of yarn. But they want to know how many yards they're going to get. So in order to turn feet into yards, you have to take that 1,251 and do the last step, which is divide by 3. We've done a lot of dividing, and I've really tried to stress to you, you look at the first number. Well, 3 can't go into 1, but it can go into 12. And that's multiplying. 3 times something gets you close to 12, or is 12. In this case, 3 times 4 is 12. Now, if there's blank spaces left over, or place values left, you put zeros there. 3 times 4 is 12, but 3 times 400 is 1,200. 1 minus 0 is 1, 5 minus 0 is 5, 2 minus 2 is 0, 1 minus 1 is 0. Now, you may not know 3 times what is 51, but you could just do 10. 3 times 10 is 30, and subtract. Now it's what times 3 is 21? 7. 3 times 7 is 21, and subtract, and there's your answer. Your answer for this one should have been 417 yards. And generally, a lot of people have done a really good job. The mistakes I've seen is instead of dividing by 3, you multiply by 3, or just plain skipping a step. Okay, taking a look down here. Oh, we already did that one. I've got these 2 to do for you. This first one is actually pretty easy. You have 1, 2, 3 zeros. 6 times 8 is 48. How I do that in my head, 8 times 5 is 40, then add 8. Then you'd have 2 zeros. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 0 from the 10, 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 7 is 42. 2, 12, 8, 4. 48,822. Now when you have multi-digit times multi-digit like this one, what you have to remember is that this is 20 plus 4 times 50 plus 5. And you use each of the numbers twice. So I'm going to take 50 times 20. I can see that there's 2 zeros there. 5 times 2 is 10. The third 0 comes from the 5 times 2. I've used this one once, I've used this one once. Now I'm going to do 50 times 4. There's 1 0 from the 50, 5 times 4 is 20. I've used this one once, I've used this one twice, so I'm done with the 50. Now I'm going to do 5 times 20. There's a 0 from the 20. 5 times 2 is 10. I've used this one twice. I've used that one once. If I've used it twice, I'm done. Because if it's a 2 by 2 digit number, you're going to have 4 add-ins at the end. Now I have to do 5 times 4. I'm using each of those for a second time, so I'm going to be done. 5 times 4 is 20. Now it's just adding zeros, 2, 300s, 1,320 is what you should have had for your answer on this one. Those were your math boxes for today, guys. Good job.